the difference between what we do at Vine Group, which is the pre-positioning that I was talking about, versus just getting a regular pre-approval from the bank, because pre-approvals don't really mean much and they're not worth a lot because they all come with a bunch of conditions, right? So what I want to get across is when we say pre-positioning at Vine Group, we actually have in-house underwriters that are going to look at your documents up front. So I'd be very wary getting a pre-approval of any sort that someone that has not already completely underwritten your documents, especially if you're in an environment where you have to go in firm. So if in an environment where the bidding wars are crazy, if you're looking in Durham right now and you have to go in firm, it's only more of a necessity for you to do your due diligence and work with someone who, for example, like myself, a lot of times people are looking at these offers on Saturday and Sunday and they're right at the edge of their purchasing power and they want to call me and say, hey, this is the MLS listing. This is how much the condo fees are. This is how much the taxes are. Can you plug this in and see if we can make this? Because they don't want to put a condition of finance. So just to be able to have that conversation, make sure that we have had a completely underwritten file is that much more important in this environment, especially if, and I'm always going to say, I still advise you to put a condition of finance. And I still see people doing this and getting accepted, maybe not in Durham right now, because I've seen how Durham is right now. But I do understand why realtors are pushing for firm sales. And with the home inspection, for selling agents, I hope that they do, like you said, have that home inspection up front for you, because I have heard horror stories. Most recently, one of the realtors I was working with, they got a condo. It was, I think, wintertime, and they thought the place had air conditioning, only to find out summer, turned on the AC, opened up the unit, and there was nothing there, right? So little things like that and stories I hear are kind of why you want a home inspection, because who's going to really take something off the wall to see if there's actually an AC unit? I mean, maybe you would, but there's always little things that can happen. So if you can, I'm always going to recommend it. So that's why we're always going to have that fight with the realtors and the mortgage agents. We're erring on the side of caution, just because if there is a mess, we're going to be the ones cleaning it up.
So what I would say, guys, that's a great question, and I want to explain to everyone on the call here is there's a difference between there's a fake pre-approval and a real pre-approval.
That's
right?
hilarious term.
The fake pre-approval, I'm calling it out. I think the banking industry is very irresponsible. Scotiabank, TD Bank, RBC, Scotiabank, they're irresponsible customer service. You literally have people that walk into the branch. No, seriously, right? You walk into the branch trusting them. I want to get a mortgage. You know what I mean? They pull you into the offers. They don't pull your credit. They don't check your job letter. They don't check anything. Then they say, how much do you make? This? Do you have any debt? Nah. You very, very vague. They type up something that says, yeah, you're pre-approved for like $800,000. Am I lying, buddy? Am I lying? No?
Wait, this is me?
Yeah.
Oh man, no, you're not lying. I'm okay. Actually like, this is so relieving because I'm not allowed to say certain things about banks. But you do your thing. You go.
No, I'm ruthless, guy. So this is good, right? People need to know this stuff. I tell my people to only go to mortgage brokers. I think the Vine Group is like the best mortgage team in Canada, right? Like they're the best. They're literally the best, right? So I tell my people, don't even walk into the bank, because they're giving fake pre-approvals, right? They're not pulling your credit. They're not talking to underwriters. They're not talking to anyone. What the Vine Group does, right, where my mortgage brokers, they will ask for your salary. They'll ask for your income. They'll pull your credit. They'll talk to Scotiabank for you, to the underwriter. They'll say, hey, by the way, I have I have a person that wants to buy something. They'll check with the bank, do their due diligence. Then they'll say, you're good to go. Right? Yeah. So you have to make sure you have a real pre-approval and not a fake pre-approval. Right? It's super important.
And thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate
you kind of stayed off for you, don't worry.
Sorry?
Kenneth said he'll say it for you. I do want to put it out there, though. If there's anyone in the community who does work for the bank and you want to be part of a future panel to have perhaps some discussion with Kenneth and Jerome and Armand, or, to rebut some of what we're hearing, we're always open to discussion. And
it's really unacceptable, actually, to be honest.
Oh my God! Okay, I just want to say that being a mortgage agent, we do work hand in hand with the bank. So I do work with TD and Scotia. So it's not at all to discredit these banks. These are the banks that we're working with every day, and they do a good job. It's just having a mortgage agent, you get an extra layer of scrutiny which is needed in finding any issues that might be. So whenever you put a file into bank, even a lot of my business goes through Scotia, because Scotia does have some really good programs. Even if I am putting a file with Scotia, you know that it's already been underwritten in-house before it even makes it to their underwriters. So a lot of times when they see it and they see Vine Group, they're like, okay, this is good to go. They know that we've already done our due diligence. So I do agree that you should be working with a mortgage agent, because when I look at your files and when I'm underwriting it, I'm going to find the best place for you. Whereas you may not qualify at this bank, you may here. So they all have strengths and weaknesses, and it's my job to kind of find out what those are and put you in the best position. And then from there, they'll take it to the end of the way. However, going to them straight, I have seen some pre-approvals that really mean nothing, and they're worthless. So that's why I think it makes sense to kind of work with a mortgage agent, get pre-positioned, underwritten, and get all your documents. Get your documents up front. I mean, there's no point in hiding them. Having someone look at them is only going to help you in the future.